What's it like to bike in Long Beach, California? Got to put my bike helmet on for this. Get prepared, stay safe. That's the question I'm asking today. And I'm going to be trying to answer it by looking at the available resources we have online and seeing what's up. To note, I don't live in Long Beach, California. I haven't visited there yet. So take what I say with a grain of salt and realize I'm using the information that's also available to you out there. But I want to interview someone who's an expert at biking there, whether that's bike commuting and taking your kids to school, picking up groceries, or going mountain biking, bike touring, biking on the weekends, whatever it may be. I want to interview you if that's you. In which case, just go down to the description below, fill out the form I've got, and we might have you on the show. Regardless, I'm going to do my best to answer what it's like to bike today. So I'm going to start with traillink.com to find some dedicated bike paths near Long Beach. And you've got probably a famous path here, which is a 4-mile shoreline path that takes you right along the shoreline. I'm sure some beautiful views. I'm pretty sure Long Beach is where like the where's Muscle Beach, California? I think that's Long Beach, right? Let's see. It's in Venice, which is, let's see where it is related to Santa Monica. Oh, it's in Santa Monica. Okay, so yeah, definitely it's not there, but maybe I'll have to look at Santa Monica next. Um, nonetheless, back to it. There's a bike path that goes from Long Beach, basically almost like, so Long Beach is just south of Los Angeles, and it pretty much goes from Los Angeles 23 miles along the Los Angeles River, which I didn't know there was such thing as a Los Angeles River. I'm guessing it was a maybe man-made canal at one point. Is that true? Is LA River man-made? Although the LA River does not serve as a premier water source, it's still very important. Before most of it was paved over, it was a natural river, which broke its banks more than once. So it is natural. Yeah, as far as what walkscore.com gives the Long Beach, they give it a 69, which they argue means it's somewhat bikeable, really close to that's walking. Yeah, still bikeable, close to very bikeable. That would be a 70. So pretty average there. But again, take these numbers with a grain of salt. Depends on what you do and where you are. As far as mountain biking, nothing like directly in Long Beach. You're going to have to go south to get to some mountain biking. So there's this green path. This is the San Gabriel River Trail, which let's take a look at it's a paved path, which is sweet. So you got, if you wanted to do a 40-mile like out and back ride, or maybe even more, if it's, let's see, where is it? San Gabriel River Trail, 38 miles. So you could do some solid riding out there, whether it's road riding. As far as elevation, let's take a look at what that's looking like. So here's all the bike shops in Long Beach. There's a good amount, like 12, 15. Terrain. Okay. So we're looking at pretty flat around here. And then once you get up into like north, probably 20 miles, you've got Chino Hills State Park, near Whittier, La Habra. That's definitely where the elevation starts. And then west, you've got Rancho Palos Verdes, next to Los Verdes Golf Course. I think my parents have played golf there once. Probably really beautiful. So as far as this, though, pretty flat in general, which, you could argue is nice for biking and argue is bad for biking. It depends on your perspective. Let's see how far you're going to have to drive to get to like the nearest, solid mountain biking. You could definitely bike out along this and then bike around near Whittier, but it's going to be a solid bike ride to get there, probably like 24 miles. Let's see how far you are to get to these trails, which are on the water, which are probably sick. So directions from Long Beach, California, 24-minute drive, bike ride, 14 miles. So yeah, mountain biking, you're going to have to drive to get to spots. If you are willing to drive though, you're going to have a ton of options. So let's go back to Mountain Bike Project and look. You've got the closest riding is definitely going to be there. Rolling Hills Estates, near Rancho Palos Verdes. But you're going to have some riding down here along the coast, Crystal Cove, Laguna Beach. Laguna Beach will be, I'll have to look into that soon because you're in Laguna Beach, you're in surfing territory, you're in mountain biking territory. That's sweet. And I know it's a really famous spot. It's probably crazy expensive, but nonetheless, if you're willing to drive, you got a ton of riding, like no shortage, north, south. I mean, let's zoom out. I mean, really, there's just mountain biking everywhere. But let's look at the U.S. for a second. You can see like Colorado seems to have probably the most trails here on MTB project, but this southern part of California is probably equally as dense as a lot of the riding in Colorado, and then near San Francisco as well. And I know a lot of this too, so much, like there's so much opportunity all across the US for trails. So much of it just hasn't been documented yet and taken a look at. As far as where people are riding in Long Beach, you can tell there's a lot of people riding along that river trail and then along the ocean there. And then, along the water. You can tell we got some solid mountain biking here, and then the mountain biking near Laguna Beach, and up north near LA, but nothing too prominent that sticks out to me there. I see this right here. I wonder what this must be, like a park or something like that. Let's see. Let's go to biking. Is this Ken Malloy? Or no, we're not. Long Beach is here. This looks like El Dorado Park here that people are riding around. El Dorado Dog Park. El Dorado Archery Range. You could bike there with your, your bow and arrow and start shooting arrows. Interesting. Bike packing. What's going on here? So you can bike pack anywhere. You can bike tour anywhere. But as far as what's established and what there's a bunch of data on, I love going to bikepacking.com or adventurecycling.com. Bikepacking.com is for more off-road routes, and adventure cycling is for more on-road routes generally. And there's this LA Observer. It's a 62-mile route, which starts in Pasadena. And then you've got a bunch of riding if you go south, like more towards San Diego, which I've looked at. You got some awesome loops. Let's take a look at this. Okay, so sorry. The LA Observer is just this little loop right here. It's 62 miles. But then if you go right, there's the Baldy Bruiser, 147 miles, Big Bear to Los Angeles. And let's look at some pictures here. So beautiful, beautiful. Sandy, Jeep, not a bike, fat bike, fat bike, fat bike. Well, it's the same guy. Acorns. Those are huge pine guns. Look, they're as big as the water bottle. That road looks like you wouldn't want to drive on it, but you can bike, so don't have to worry about that. Wow, that's some erosion there. And taking a nap during the day. Yeah, beautiful. So for that ride, you could take, if you wanted to get there just by bike, you could go from Long Beach along this green bike path right here, the 20-mile river path, and then through Los Angeles and start right from there. Or you could drive and it'd be closer. So interesting. As far as what else? Let's look at the gravel maps. I didn't see much in Long Beach. Really, it looks like if you want gravel, go to Laguna. Huntington Beach, there's this. That's a paved segment, actually. There's a bunch of gravel up here. Again, none of these maps are perfect. It's just what's available to us at the moment. So as far as what I'm seeing in Long Beach, there's some long path rides that you can do. This is probably the best way to visualize it. And mountain biking is accessible, but probably you're going to have to drive to it. As far as biking around town, I mean, the bike score that was given to it by walkscore.com, not great. And I don't see many dedicated bike paths other than really these. So if you're able to hug the beach and stay around there, that's pretty good. But you're at a jumping ground for some amazing biking, amazing surfing, Southern California has a lot to do. I think one thing I missed was looking at weather. So overall, it's a 9.3 out of 10 average. Obviously, there's some issues with pollution and like air quality fires in Southern California. That the thing is that everywhere you go, there are issues with natural disasters. And I'm not trying to downplay what's going on right now. What I'm just saying is that wherever you go, you're going to usually contend with bad weather and with dangerous weather. You got to be safe. You got to stay cognizant. So I know a lot of people that probably shy away from California with the news of the wildfires, that shy away from places like Florida with hurricanes. But if you are smart, forecast, make the right decisions, you can't avoid a disaster at all costs. But there's no place that you're safe in this world we live in. That is just nature at its finest. Maybe not at its finest, but nature doing its thing. April, this is all above a 9. You're only gonna have like December, January, maybe a little bit cooler. So year-round weather, great. 14 inches of rain, not much rain. They could probably use more rain. If they could definitely use it with the fire situation. No snow, 287 days of sun per year. So yeah, Long Beach, really interesting place. I wouldn't say it's a mecca for anything specific, but it's a great jumping pad for a lot. And if you want to live by the beach, sweet, do that. I love that. Sweet. If you're interested in more of these videos, I've got a ton going up on the channel consistently. And, I'm observant that I'm not an expert at any specific city that I interview or that I look at. But if you're an expert, I would love to interview you on this show, look through some maps, point people in the right direction, help them out on their bike journey. So if that's you, just go down in the description. There's a form to fill out. Regardless, thanks for watching. Stay pedals up, wear your helmet, and have a good one.